Hi everyone, welcome to my video. Today I have a first impressions, little bit of a tutorial. I'm going to have a very quick walkthrough, and then on the other side of that I will have reviews of a whole bunch of products that I've been sent in the last little while, and one that I've purchased. So yeah, keep watching if you want to see how this came to be, and if you want to hear all of my little mini reviews of the products that I used. So to start off, I'm using the Dermablend Smooth Liquid Camo Medium Coverage Foundation, and I am in the shade Cream 10N. Then moving on to concealer, I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Concealer in the Fair set, and I'm using shade 0.75 to conceal all over my face and as well underneath my eyes. Before I use that Anastasia concealer though, I am going to color correct underneath my eyes just to make sure that I don't have any dark circles, or at least they're minimized as much as possible. Now to set everything, I'm using the NYX No Filter Finishing Powder in the shade Ivory. Now for brows, I'm using the Anastasia Brow Wiz in the shade Soft Brown, and I thought I'd zoom you guys in a little tiny bit so you could actually see what I was doing for my eyes. Now to make a few areas a little bit more precise on my brows, I went in with the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade, and I went with the shade Caramel just to touch everything up and make the color a little bit more to my liking. Next, I'm going to play around with the Avon Makeup Artist Palette, and I'm actually starting with a brown shade with the name of Tawny. It's a matte brown shade, really great pigmentation. Then I'm going in with Midnight, which is a matte navy blue shade, and I'm putting this on the outer half of my eyelid. Then for the inner part of my eyelid, I'm going in with Sequin, which is a metallic silver bluish shade. Then to amp up the look a little bit more, I'm going in with another Avon eyeshadow, but this one's from Mark. It is the Tough Luxe eyeshadow in Midnight Madness, just to add a little bit more shimmer to the entire look, especially over that matte blue shade. Going in and buffing out all of the edges so there's no harsh lines, and then going in with a black shade, which is the color Ink, just to deepen up that outer corner of the eye. And then for the inner corner of the eye, I'm going in with Frost, which is a metallic shade from the palette, really nice and sparkly and nicely pigmented as well. And then underneath the eye, I'm just going in with Tawny again, that matte brown shade that I put in the crease. And then just on the outside corner of the lower lash line, going in again with a mixture of Ink and Tawny, just to deepen that up, and further deepening up that outer V and making it a little bit more of a precise line. Now I'm just lining my lower and upper waterline just to deepen up the look and continue with the smoky appearance of it. And then I'm going in with winged eyeliner from Mary Kay. It is the liquid eyeliner pen in black, just to create a pretty subtle wing, nothing too dramatic. Now for contour, I'm going in with the Fawn Contour from the Avon palette. It's a matte contour shade. Pretty light pigmentation, it's nothing too drastic. And then for blush, I'm going in with Plum Radiance, which is a shimmer blush from the palette as well. For highlight, I'm going in with the MAC Extra Dimension Skin Finish in Double Gleam, and I do have a blog post about this that just went up last week. I'm going to curl my eyelashes, and then I'm going to be putting mascara on both top and bottom lashes, and I'm going to be using the Too Faced Better Than Sex Waterproof Mascara. And then for a little bit extra glam, I'm going in with the Esquito lashes, and this is the lash name Desire, and bam, look at them, so good. And then just to add a punch of color to this look, I'm going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills lip gloss in the shade Petal. I got this during the VIB sale. So, so pretty. And there we have it. This is the look that I came up with. I had no idea what I was going to really be doing in terms of what the look was going to look like. I knew what products I was going to use, but I guess it's kind of like a modern update on that tacky 80s makeup, like, you know, blue eyeshadow and pink lips. I don't know, I think this actually came out really well. Now, of course, this is all about first impressions. The tutorial was just so that I could try out all the products, and now I have some reviews for you. Okay, so first up is the Dermablend foundation. Now this wasn't actually a first impressions, but I haven't had a chance to review it yet, so I figured I might as well put it in here, and I have the exact same thoughts that I did when I did the first time I used it. This is no joke in terms of coverage. I always put too much on the back of my hand or like apply on my face before I start blending it in, and then I'm left with makeup afterwards because this packs a pigmentation punch for sure. It's a satin finish. I don't find that it dries out my dry skin. I have had some issues with it creasing, especially like in the forehead area. Now if I set it with the Dermablend powder, I don't have that many issues after that, but if I use another powder, I find that it does crease a little bit, so I do find that it works together really well. In terms of longevity, I do find that this is probably one of the longest lasting foundations that I've ever tried, and it doesn't dry out my skin throughout the day, which is really nice. It doesn't accentuate any dry patches, it doesn't make me go too oily, I just look like nicely, like a little bit dewy, I have a little bit of a glow to me by the end of the day, but it's a satin finish, full coverage for sure. I don't even want to imagine what the full cover foundation actually is, because this is supposed to be a medium coverage. It also has SPF 25, which is fantastic. If you want to hear first impressions, like true first impressions on this foundation for other types of skin, please go and check out my friend Sam and Shell's videos. They've both done videos about this foundation the last little while, so you can kind of get an idea on different skin types, but I've dry to normal skin and I haven't had any issues with this whatsoever. Okay, so the next thing that I gave a try is the Anastasia Beverly Hills concealer in Fair. It came with 4 different shades. Came with 0.57, 0.75, 1, and 1.5. I only used 0.75. It was a perfect match for my skin, and it was really good for underneath the eye. It didn't overly brighten it. If I really wanted a overly bright under eye, I would probably use the 0.5, and then in the summer I'd probably use 1.0. Just if I was to get any color. This is definitely a thicker concealer than I'm used to. I prefer something a little bit thinner that I can build up a little bit rather than something thicker that I kind of worry about it creasing. So I did put this under the eye and it blended out fine, but I'm just worried that it'll crease as I go along with the rest of the time that I'm wearing this makeup, which will only be for maybe a few more hours. But yeah, no, it's good pigmentation for sure. I'm just worried a little bit about the consistency of it and that it's a little bit too thick. But pigmentation for sure. Around the face, I don't really worry about it, but it's definitely under the eye that I would worry about using this concealer for sure. Okay, so then let's see. Face products. I tried out the NYX No Filter Finishing Powder, and I tried it in NFFP03. Ivory. This is actually the 3rd lightest shade. I have all of them. I received basically all of the shades after I went to the NYX party after IMATS. So this is O2 Porcelain. There's not a huge difference in the appearance of them, like in the pan themselves. Like this is porcelain and this is ivory. Like it's very slight, but on the skin I can tell that this is definitely a better match for me than this. So if you're very fair, definitely look for these. I like actually the effect that this gave. I don't know how it's doing about like setting things. So it is more of like that finishing powder. It's not like an RCMA like color powder or the Dermablend one that's really gonna like make your makeup last. But this is gonna give your skin a very nice like satin finish. It definitely doesn't go all the way matte. It just has this nice, like, natural, healthy glow to it. I'm actually very impressed with this. I don't know how to wear it again throughout the day, but it is very promising, and especially during the winter. I think the winter this one will be very good because it won't overly dry out the skin, and it'll give a nice natural finish to any foundation that I use. Okay, so moving on to brows. I tried out for the first time ever, actually. Well, I guess this would be a first impressions if it was the second time, it wouldn't be first impressions. Anyways, it's the Brow Wiz by Anastasia, which is crazy that I've never tried this. I tried out the shade in soft brown. I think it might be a tad bit light for me, but it's okay. This is actually really comparable to the NYX Micro Brow and the Annabelle Skinny Brow Liner, both of which I love. I find that this is a little bit drier than the Annabelle one and about on par with the NYX Micro Brow. So if you don't want to shell out the big bucks for this, those are both great options from the drugstore. Yeah, it's so comparable that I don't even really have anything else to say other than, like, it's good. It's nice little fine line. It applied relatively easily. But yeah, the shade is a little bit off, so I'm happy that I then tried out the Dip Brow Pomade, which again, I've never tried. Like, this is just crazy that I've never used Anastasia, like, brow products for the most part. But I tried out Caramel. And I think it actually, if you, like, see quickly in the tutorial, the soft brown was a little bit too, like, almost light and blonde-ish in nature for a brunette color, but the Caramel brought in that warmth. So I'm actually really happy with the color of my brows now. And they say that the Caramel is warm. It's for light brown hair with golden or red undertones and highlights and light to medium skin tones. Now, I have red hair, and it actually goes really well, and it just kind of deepened up the brows a little bit. I didn't really like the brush that I used, which was the Crown brush, the C413 Brow Duo. I found that this was a little bit too thick, but it still put on pretty well. It didn't brush away when I combed through my brows afterwards. We'll see how I like it. I'm going to try it out for the next couple days too. I don't see myself being a pomade type of girl though. Simple as that. I really don't. Okay, so next up, I'm actually pretty impressed with this. This is the Avon Makeup Artist Palette. Comes with 30 eyeshadows, 5 lip glosses, 3 blushes, 2 highlighters, and 1 contour, and then there's a nice big mirror in here as well. I'm actually really impressed with this, considering usually when you get something like this, the shadows just kind of suck, or you'll have a few good ones, but the shadows that I did use from it are actually really good. I like the pigmentation. It's pretty good for Avon. I know I can be a little bit critical of how their products would be. I really liked the blush that I used. Really nice pigmentation. The bronzer contour, there wasn't really much to it. Like, you can tell a little bit, but nowhere near the impact that I can get with other things. But yeah, I quite liked these eyeshadows. I was actually really impressed with the matte brown that I used in the crease first. That had really nice pigmentation. And the silvery color that I used on the inner corner of my eye, also super, super nice. I haven't tried out the lip glosses, and I don't think I ever will. The little flappy things are a little bit annoying, so I peeled them off while I was using them, but I might just keep the one over the lip glosses so that they don't get powdery products built up. But I'm actually pretty impressed with this. So if you are someone who doesn't have a ton of makeup, or you want something really awesome for travel, this would be fantastic. Like, you have a mirror with it, and then you have a whole bunch of blushes, highlight, lip glosses, and a whole crap load of eyeshadow. So you can do a ton of looks with these. It does come with those, like, stupid little sponge applicators. Toss those. They are worthless. But yeah, I'm actually really impressed, and I'm excited to give this a try with, like, other shades. I'm, like, wondering, like, there's a, like, what? I really didn't think that that shade would be very good. A matte, like, turquoise, I didn't think. But purple, yeah, that's actually pretty good. This olive color. Like, look at that. That's actually really cool. I wonder if these are like the Avon shadows that come in, like, quads or whatever. But pretty good. I'm actually pretty impressed with this. Big thumbs up, I would say. And then to top off the blue that I put on the eye, I actually used a MARC eyeshadow. Again, this is from Avon. It's a Tough Luxe eyeshadow, and it's in Midnight Madness. I was actually thinking that it would be a little bit more shimmery in the overall look, but I don't know, I'm going to give this a whirl with it wet, and that might actually bring out the like metallic nature of it, but I did experience some fallout with this compared to the other Avon shadows, so watch out when you use these if you do get one. Nice color. I'm kind of on the fence with it though. Something I'm not on the fence with is the Mary Kay liquid eyeliner pen. I don't like a felt tip pen like the way that this has. It's way too stiff. I find it far too hard to get a nice precise line. I would rather stick with my Kat Von D, and I found that this already started fading in color after I like went in to put my lashes on and everything. I went over it again just to deepen it up because it kind of like sucked into the skin and I couldn't really see the black anymore. So that's a little sad. Talking about the lashes, these are the Esquito Lash Name Desire Lash or style EL205. These are really expensive and it's really scary that I like them so much. Easily one of the easiest set of lashes I've ever put on my lashes. Yeah. They're super light. They have like a cotton band, so it makes it very easy to just pop them on. And I did use the Esquito Companion Glue. I really like this. It has like a brush tip, so it's a lot easier to put on the lashes. But yeah, no, this is really good. I'm really impressed, and I'm hoping that I can get like 25 wears out of this if I wear these and take care of them properly. But I can see why they're this expensive. They're just really nice, and they definitely add it to the overall look a lot. And then lastly, I haven't actually tried this yet, and I had it in my VIB haul video, and it's the Anastasia Lip Gloss in Petal. I love this. I love these glosses already. I didn't even know that, but the color of this is just so good. I'm just really happy with it. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing this like first impressions tutorial / I don't know, little reviews. It's just a way for me to get through a whole bunch of products that I really wanted to try, and it's just hard to get through everything. So yeah, make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed this video so you can see future videos. Leave any requests that you have for other like first impressions, things like that down below, and make sure to follow me on social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Snapchat, all of which are always linked down below. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I will see you next time. Bye!